Hello everybody, hi, welcome to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards and Other Hobbies and Other Stuff. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight. Continuing on my oddball journey of showing you oddball baseball cards and other stuff. And tonight, July 14th, 2024, 6 p.m. California time, is no different. We're going to move on to another set of oddball things. And tonight we are going to do the Wheaties stuff that I have available. So we'll do some Wheaties. It's not all baseball. So a few baseball and a few other things to show you. Hey, look, it's my wife. I wonder if she'll say hi, people.
Hi, people.
And she always does the same joke. Oh, wait, that's me, huh?
Yeah.
Did you say, oh, baby? Hi, honey.
Hi, babe.
Alright, there she is, people. I'm distracted. Uh-oh.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, hang on a second. Look at that. There she is. Oh. Jim Mint. Hey, people. So thank you for the... Wow, what a distraction. I like it. Alright. Oh. So, alright. So, want to do some quick shout-outs before we move on. Let's go back. Commenting Collector, hey, how you doing? He liked my VR. Diver Dave commented about the Abbott card. My OBAC cards, they were pretty cruddy. New subscriber, Part-Time Ripper, thank you, new subscriber. Nathan Rob, 76, thank you. And I got a comment from @ASR_Roy. He commented on my last video and he was correct. So thank you, ASR Roy, but I went ahead and removed that. But I did keep track of you and I have it right here. So thank you, ASR Roy. Make sure that you subscribe, Roy. But we'll leave it at that. Alright, folks. Please check out my other videos. Let's see here what we have. Oh, and also just want to point out, as of today, we're up to 138 subscribers, so thank you. I really appreciate it. So that's the business end of things. So hey, Roy, keep your eyes peeled. I'll try to reach out to you. But please re-comment on the video. That way I can reply to you because I erased the comment. You know why. Nothing bad, folks. Just don't want any cheaters out there. So please just reply. Yeah, I commented correctly, and that way I can reach out to you in case I need to. Alright, thanks, folks. So we are going to do Wheaties because I got this Wheaties card a couple weeks ago, but right in the midst of my oddball stuff, and I haven't had a chance to really do it justice, and because I wanted to do it with my other Wheaties stuff. Got me a nice little pointer here. Does anyone know what that is? There's another riddle for you. So riddle number 2 of the day, just for pride. What am I going to use this pointer for? Usually when I'm pointing out stuff like MSA or something on there. But here we go, folks. So we got here is a 1953, I believe, Wheaties hand cut Hall of Famer Bob Lemon card. So if you go and you look at a box of Wheaties, on the back panel they had like 5 or 6 cards, which was it Stukes or one of you guys commented when I did that video with these that there was about 6 cards on the back, but you can Google that, and then you would hand cut these out. So they did cards in 1930s, but they were the full size back of the box, like kind of like a cabinet card now, or a box loader or bigger. Um, but that was in the 1930s. So I think they did like 2 sets in the 30s. And then during the 50s, like 52, 53, somewhere in that time frame, they did a bunch of different athletes on the back of the Wheaties box in these hand cut cards. And like divers, like swimming pool divers, and maybe track and field, stuff like that, tennis or something like that. But of course, I love baseball oddball cards, and that's one of the kind of cards I needed to get. Now, I got at the same time I picked up this card is when I picked up the big, Red Man chewing tobacco card, which is one that I've always wanted. But I always, I wanted to get a Wheaties card, but I really wanted the Red Man. But I found this at the same time for a pretty good deal, and that's Hall of Famer Bob Lemon. I believe this is 1953. Well, it's in the 50s. And it's super cool. It's just simple image, just that solid orange. It just screams Wheaties cereal. You've got the Cleveland logo here. Hall of Fame pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. Just simple but beautiful. Just beautiful. You gotta love Wheaties. It's very reminiscent of what Cracker Jack did. Cracker Jack with those red cards and just the beautiful simplicity of the Cracker Jack cards. And Wheaties found a way of doing something very similar with that just classic Wheaties orange. It's like a red Ferrari. You just, it when you see it. That's Wheaties. It doesn't have to say Wheaties on there because it doesn't. It's just blank back, part of the cereal box. And, but that screams Wheaties. And just beautiful card. So that's sweet. Now they do have other baseball stuff, like I said, in the 30s. And then the 90s they did, maybe about as wide as this card, but maybe this tall. Some of those skinny cards that they put on the boxes of Wheaties, like Wheaties with raisins and stuff like that. Hand cut cards like Frank Thomas, Barry Bonds, and those guys. And if I believe I do have a few of those boxes, but I believe I'm almost 100% sure I left those in New Mexico at my brother's house, which may have made an appearance in that video where I showed the chest of stuff that I left back there, which also might be where my mother's cookies cards are of King Griffey Jr. So I do believe I actually have some of those 90s baseball cards, but they would still be on the full box because I didn't cut them out of the box. I tend to keep the packaging when I get stuff like this. And I want to order some from like eBay, but the only person selling them for like a ridiculous amount of money. And maybe the card's like $6 or something, but they're charging like $9 in shipping or some crazy amount, and it's like I don't need it that bad. I mean, they're cool to have, but I don't need a Frank Thomas card that bad. And I also think one of these antique shops that are in the Bay Area, I remember one of them having those full on boxes that have those cards on it. So if I need to, I'll just go over there and buy the complete box, because between the shipping and the cost of a single card, I can get the box with multiple cards on it and have the whole thing. And they also did, I think, some cards that were like not actual part of the box, but they had a cutout in the box and like stuck to the inside of the cutout part of the box were some like lenticular cards. So I believe I've seen those over there too, because one of the things that I'm going to show you I actually picked up, I believe, from that guy's little thing over there at the antique shop. So just beautiful cards. I'd like to get one of those cabinet cards too, but that's just beautiful to have in my collection. So that is sweet. So I guess what I should do is, should I stick with baseball? That's what I'm going to do. Since I was talking about that guy's antique shop, I'll stick with baseball. Now, I've talked about how since you can't get cards like this anymore on the side of boxes or in boxes, sometimes the box itself becomes the collectible. So like you'll still see Wheaties with you know, there's like a football player on it now, and then they had Simone Biles on it before that. But every now and then, if you get like a big athlete, you know, I would like buy the box. Doesn't matter what cereal brand. And that's kind of a new oddball collectible to me because it's not really a card, but it's still collectible in my opinion because it's kind of an oddball thing. And as you've noticed, as I've been going through all these oddball cards and collectibles, that, you know, for the whole history of baseball cards and cards in general, it was like oddball. And then like in the 50s, it became like straight up cards through history. And then you would occasionally have an oddball set. And then like the 80s and 90s, you got more oddball cards, but less than like standard cards. And then like in about 2006, just fell off the map down to basically nothing. And then you'll have a blip here and there. And those are no longer baseball cards. They're usually like Olympians and different athletes like that. So as far as baseball goes, it's just become too expensive for them to license anything anymore. Shame on you, baseball. Where the collectible becomes the what do you call it? The packaging, or like the guy endorsing the stuff. So here's what I picked up from that guy's shop who actually does sell those. And the cool thing about this little honey frosted Wheaties box is this is one of those mini boxes like you would get on an airplane or at a hotel. So it's not the full size box. As you can see, this is a little card, right? And these are the size of a standard card. So, you know, there's regular size cards in there. Clue. Alright, or, you know, you've got these ones that I'm going to do. So, it's not much bigger than a regular size card. So that's a good way to collect these kind of things. If you can find them in those little single serving boxes, that's just super cool. And so what we got here is Honey Frosted Wheaties King Griffey Jr. number 24. Now that still has the cereal in there. And I bought this about 5 years ago. And I've been debating with myself if I should take the cereal out. Because I learned my lesson with those Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes where I had like 4 or 5 of them that I never opened and took the stuff out, like the noodles, and then the bugs got in there and ate all the dried noodles and then just died and left a mess. So part of me wants to open that and take that package out and just throw it in the trash, but then the other part of me wants to keep it in mint condition here. So it's real tough. So that's Betty Crocker. Alright, who owns this? Oh, is that let's take a look here, folks. General Mills. Oh, wow. So we do got some General Mills stuff. So like that Andre Dawson thing that I showed you from Canada, I didn't realize General Mills owned Wheaties at this time. And it's the same on both sides. So that's the difference on a full-size box. It's going to probably have other information on the back. But there we go. So we finally got some General Mills stuff. So Honey Frosted Wheaties, King Griffey Jr. This is obviously still on Seattle. So this is sometime in the early 90s, I believe. Up to around 95, I would guess. See if we can find an expiration date on here. Alright, it says... no, that doesn't say. Got some code stamped in there, so I don't have the code. Alright. Oh, that's cool. It says Series 1 down here. I guess I should be using my little pointer stick right there. Series 1. And maybe there's an expiration date on this here. Betty Crocker points. I still needed to go and get a catalog, so it wasn't even a internet. Like they didn't even have a web page yet. Alright folks, and oh yeah, here we go. We got a date showing up here. So bear with me a second. So General Mills, General Offices, 1996 General Mills. So it says right on there, 1996. Right in there. So 95, 96, so that seems right. So that's a sweet King Griffey Jr. They did it just in a way that you wouldn't know that they didn't have to pay for the logo or anything, because it doesn't say anything on here about any licensing of any kind. So it might just be Player Association, or it might just be King Griffey Jr. himself. But that's sweet. And if I took that out, I would fold this box up. Some people like to display these in little plastic things for display. Me, I would personally just as well open that, take the stuff out and fold it, just because it would be easier to store. But this was in such pristine mint condition, I felt I should leave it that way. So anyways, I rambled on about that for a long time. Alright, so that's baseball. So next I'm going to move on to like 1989. So let's pull this back some more, people. And so 1989-90. Let me adjust that just a tad. So General Mills, Wheaties, whole grain flakes put out these posters. So Michael Jordan free poster on this box. So I think the box was wrapped in like cellophane, and this was like on the back of the box or on the front. And then the whole box was like wrapped up in like cellophane. And you would get one of these 4 posters. Now I have all 4 posters, but I believe the other, I think, well, I have multiples. So I believe I have the 4 that I left in New Mexico in that chest. But those were ones that I took and pinned up to the wall, so they would have pinholes down in there. And so I do have the 4 that, because I'm from Chicago, and of course Michael Jordan was a huge deal. The end of the 80s, everyone wanted to be like Mike, and that was before they won all the championships. That's kind of when I stopped doing other sports and just kind of wanted to do basketball. I was trying to be in basketball. It just wasn't that good, and I didn't have good grades, so I couldn't play anyways. The whole story, I went through trying out for my high school team, because I played the summer team for my high school team, and then I went through the tryouts, and for like however many days that was, and then I didn't make the team, and the coach tells me, oh well, it's because you didn't have the grades. your grades, you couldn't play. And then, well, why did you let me try out? That was the thing. So here's the one that I have that I never punched a hole in or anything, and it's gonna be tough to see this because it's so big. Let's look at the back first. So there's the 4 posters you can get. So this is like the Nike collection. That one, that was my favorite to have on the wall. So 2 of them actually playing, and then a couple street ball ones. That's pretty cool too. It'd be cool to play Mike, out there on the street. Mike's pretty intense, right? If you watched that special they just did this year on Jordan. So this is one of the street ball ones. So we'll just kind of scan. So MJ looks like he's probably there in Chicago. And so you guys have probably seen these posters all over the place. I saw somebody selling one of these just now because I was trying to look up the year that these came out. And They're a couple $100. This one's in really nice shape. I keep this in the place where I keep my special Ty Cobb collectible that I'm going to get around to showing you guys from Ty Cobb's playing days. And so it's been kept in pretty decent shape. Poster's a little tough every time you touch them. You know, you run the risk of putting a bend in it. But that's super sweet, and I'm sure there's millions of these out there, but they're just epic. They're just super cool. I mean, they're just epic images of the greatest player of all time. And this is like the Bulls were just starting to get better and better, but they still couldn't get over the hump with Detroit, like in the playoffs. And, you know, it was in high school. We're playing basketball every lunch, after school, at the park. I mean, I literally played basketball almost every day for like 3 or 4 years. I mean, from like, let's just say the 7th grade, right? Yeah, so that would be more like off and on. You know, you obviously didn't play much in the winter, but like from the 7th grade till about a couple years out of high school. So that's super cool. All right, folks, and then we're going to go and show you some cool stuff that I forgot. I knew I had, but I forgot they were Wheaties. And these are Wheaties from Starline, the same people who did those Long John Silver's cards. And it says MSA, so Starline Inc. 1987 NFLPA. And right there, look, people, there it is. There's my favorite oddball maker, Michael Schechner and Associates. And these Starline, I'm still not sure what their connection is, but this is the NFL, so they obviously got the players and the NFL. And these are the 1987 Wheaties mini posters that came in boxes of Wheaties, and I just was, you know, I'm a baseball collector, but I will collect other sports, and especially this era. This wasn't long after the Bears won the Super Bowl, so I was probably trying to get some of their stuff, maybe like Walter Payton or whoever. And, you know, it's just into football. We used to play at the park a lot too, you know, when the weather got too cold for basketball. We'd go over there and play football, pick up football at the park, at the old Thomasita Park or Gene Bellama. And as you can see, by then I was already pretty deep into oddball stuff. So this was just right up my alley when I just really first started getting collecting. And as the more I collected, the more I just kind of focused more on baseball. But I did pick up a lot of these super cool little posters. I've had ever since then. So there you go, Tony Dorsett, one of the greats from the 80s. Alright, of course, on the Cowboys, you either love them or hate them, and, well, I'm a Bears fan, so. Alright, so in 77, Tony was NFL Rookie of the Year. Longest run from scrimmage, 99 yards. Over 1,000 yards, 8 times. 5 Pro Bowls. And the Pro Bowl was a little more important. And, of course, that Starline MSA there. And just beautiful. These cool little things out, and like, you can imagine you having that right next to your desk in school or like in your room. You can doing your homework. Put your favorite player up there. Or if you're like me, you'd put this up at your work now. Be nostalgic about your past. Hit that midlife crisis and wanting to relive your youth by buying a bunch of baseball cards and putting posters up at work. Alright, so the next one we have is a copy, so another Tony Dorsett. So obviously he's got the helmet, the logo, and playing on artificial turf there. So don't need to see all that again. And then I do have some other NFL oddball stuff like this. I want to show you that One of the guys from my wife's work gave to me because he knew I collected this kind of stuff. And look at here, you got Phil Simms, quarterback, and you know, this was in that era, not too far after McDonald's did the football cards, you know, with the scratch off bottoms, like the 85 Bears. So I think those were done in 86. But those NFL sets that McDonald's did was like right around this time, so it was pretty hot stuff in this era. You know, it was just like NFL was really exploding, you know, for 85 right into the end of the 80s, going into the 90s. You know, with the Bears being so good that time around, the Redskins were good, and then the 49ers were just unbelievable. You know, it was just, you know, Marino, Montana, Steve Young. You know, you still had people like Dan Fouts and all these guys roaming around, Walter Payton and, you know, Tony Dorsett and, you know, all these guys. It was a really good era of football. Super Bowl shuffle. And all right, so there's what it has to say about old Phil Simms there. All right. Love MSA. Cool little posters. Just kept them in a little envelope all this time. Alright, and one of my friends back in the day, the only person I knew from Minnesota. But now we got Rob, a commenting collector, who's a Minnesota guy. So there we go. We got Tony Kramer for you, my rival Vikings there. Tony Kramer, quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Pretty sweet. Not sure what the checklist is for this set. I don't know if did Walter Payton, was he still playing in 87? Seems right about around the time he retired. So I don't know if Walter or if any Bears are in this. But they probably should have been, because I think they were still pretty good up until this time. I mean, I know the next year they got wiped out by the 49ers, like 49-0 or something in the playoffs. And then I think they got their butts handed to them by the Redskins back then when they were still pretty good. All right, people, a few more to go. Andre Tippett, not Andre Dawson, but Andre Tippett, New England Patriots linebacker. So this is going to be the old ugly Patriots uniforms. Oh, people, I also have another thing that I need to run by you, another riddle. This thing here, we'll get back to this in a second. Alright, so let's do this. Patriots, who Bears played in that 85 Super Bowl. Andre Tippett, doing the Patriots. Pause that, read about him. And Louis Lips, there you go, Mr. Mangini, John Mangini, and all you Pittsburgh fans. And another buddy, Dave Romero, huge Pittsburgh Steelers fans back there in Albuquerque. Sup, Dave? I don't know why he's a Pittsburgh fan. I know he's not from there. It's just a team he chose somewhere along the line. So there you go, Louis Lips. An artificial turf, number 83. Wow, it's funny. They look so old-fashioned to me now with these this design on there, and then the artificial turf is very dating. So, anyways, Louis Lips. So there you go. That is my Wheaties stuff. Now here's another oddball thing. It came from Mountain Dew Kickstart. I have no idea what this is. They were giving it away somewhere at a like the radio station, like at a concert or something. I don't know if it's supposed to be a bottle opener, like you clip that onto a bottle opener, but it's got a hole in there. It makes me feel like it's supposed to be a whistle or something like that. And then this, I know it's a keychain, but then this thing pops out, and then it's got like a little megaphone or something like that. And I can't for the life of me figure out what it does. I can't get it to work. I don't know if it's a whistle that you squeeze this thing and blows the air, and I can't figure it out. And I've looked on like websites that sell these kind of little giveaways and trinkets that you can give away, or like for companies or party stores and stuff like that. I have no idea what this is. Can anybody tell me what this thing is and what it does? Because I cannot figure this out. I've been like, this has been like 8 years it's been bothering me, or maybe 10 years. I can't remember. I think I picked this up at a concert at Shoreline or Concord, and one of the radio stations was giving up some junk, and I was like, oh, I'll take it. I don't know what it is. You know, that's kind of a plastic, like hard plastic. This is rubber. That thing squeezes down, and this thing pulls back. So I don't know. Is that like a slide whistle? All right, folks. So there's another riddle for those who are in the know. So there you go, folks. Wheaties. MJ. The kid. All right, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and all that stuff. Another brand out of the way for my oddball run. And next, I guess we'll do the Purina because I still can't find the cereal series. All right, folks. See you later. Take care.